All right, well, welcome everybody. Thanks to our for everyone to join us again for our second main session. Speaker. Ben Voss is the Director of Sales for North America and Australia for Raven Precision. I've known Ben for quite a while, and he's certainly a very well educated person in the ag world. So you'll learn a lot from Ben. So I'll let you take over, Ben. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Andrew, and welcome everyone, and thanks for the opportunity. I thought today would be kind of fun to talk about autonomy, given that that's a hot topic these days, and everybody's curious about what's happening at Raven. But I will tell a little bit about who Raven is and some of the background about our company for those that don't know. So actually, kind of a neat thing has happened. I recently moved to our head office in Sioux Falls. So this is a photo of our office. I'm up on the third floor, and it's pretty exciting. The other bit of news that I won't get into a lot of details today because we're just not really allowed to talk a lot about the details yet, is of course the news that came out this summer about CNH acquiring Raven. And that deal will close in the near future. We're very excited about it. And if we get into questions at the end, I can try to answer them, but in general, we can talk about what's been publicly announced already. One of the things that drew me to joining Raven, I've been with Raven for about a year now, is the company is very innovative and has pulled together some incredible talent that looks at all the problems that are happening in agriculture and how we can use technology to solve those. So today Raven is a company with 3 divisions. One of them works in precision agriculture. The other 2 divisions work in other areas of technology. One is engineered films, and we also work in aerospace and defense solutions. So Raven is publicly traded on the NASDAQ and is headquartered here in Sioux Falls. We will talk today mostly about our Applied Technologies division, which is where I work, which is the area that focuses on agriculture and precision farming. We are one of the leaders in the industry working on autonomy and driverless ag solutions. So I'll deep dive into some of that today and talk about how we're advancing that portfolio of technologies and where that's likely to head in the next little while. So we've been doing precision farming technology since the 1970s, but Raven's been around a lot longer than that. Most of our focus has been on manufacturing components and technology and software for OEMs as well as aftermarket applications, with a lot of that going into application controls, sprayers, spreaders, implements, and a number of other self-propelled tractors, combines, etc. We have a lot of relationships with our OEM partners, both in the main lines as well as many of the tier 2 or short line manufacturers around the world. We have operations in the US, Canada, Australia, Brazil, and across Europe, with employees mostly from everything from engineering profession, agronomy, and with a large base of manufacturing operations to build the components and support our customers. This is a snapshot of our executive team. You can find more about this on our website. And the team is based here in Sioux Falls with long terms working here at Raven. But as mentioned earlier, with the CNH acquisition, of course, some of this might change in the future. So one of the things that I'm going to jump to next is just talking more specifically about autonomy and some of the precision technologies we've been working on. So autonomous ag adoption has been conceptual for the last few years, I would say not as commercial as people might have assumed. And now we're seeing a lot of commercial adoption. The pandemic has created a renewed awareness of the fact that we've got a fragile labor pool in agriculture. We just can't find workers anymore. There aren't kids growing up on farms like there used to be who have natural skills. Borders have been closed for a while. We can't necessarily have temporary foreign workers to work on farms. It's a problem around the world, and that labor constraint is really pushing people to look at automation. We also know that today there's incredible pressures that are happening globally. Food prices are rising. We've had some droughts in North America this last year and the year before that have really reduced crop outputs. So we're vulnerable, and agriculture has to find a way to be as efficient and productive as possible with every acre. And we see that enabled through technology. So if we have solutions that can work with growers and the supply chain that supports growers, there is a lot more capacity to deal with labor constraints, productivity constraints with equipment, and ensure that we're producing as much food as possible in the year that we're given. As some of you may know, Raven has been very aggressive in doing investments into autonomy technology. The last couple of years saw Raven do 2 major acquisitions, and we've rebranded those products to OmniDrive and OmniPower, but they were previously known as AutoCart and Dot. Dot was based in Regina and still has a very significant presence there with a lot of our development and support staff resources based in Regina. And OmniDrive, which was a US-based company that Raven acquired, was the driverless kit for tractors to support grain cart operations. So both of those products have been produced and provided into the market in the last couple of years, and we've seen quite a significant number of customers use it. And I would say it is still on a path of development, but incredible amount of progress in the last couple of years, and we're seeing real life applications. And now, of course, our customers put that on social media, and you can see some examples of it out there. But we're wrapping up harvest season here in the US, and we've had a lot of OmniDrives being utilized this season. OmniPower has gone through 3 seasons. We have commercial customers. In fact, I'll do a shout out to Chuck Barish, who's speaking later on the agenda. He's with Haggerty Agrobotics based in Ontario. So hi, Chuck, if you're watching. And we work very closely with Haggerty and have a great deal of respect for the ambition and innovation that's coming out of that company. We support their efforts fully. The thing that makes Raven a bit special in autonomy is that we have a deep background in both application controls and guidance and steering, as well as the whole connectivity solution that needs to bring it all together. So many of our products have been used today in advanced precision farming applications, whether it's for visual guidance, rate control, implement control, GPS controlled steering, RTK steering, telematics connections, connectivity that enables upload and download two-way communications with the equipment. So we've built this portfolio that has given us the tools to pursue autonomy. So as we move forward, we're basing most of our automation developments on this incredible platform, this foundation of technology that's been built over several decades. And as we acquired some of the new technologies, we advanced them further with our knowledge built on what was developed there, but it gave us also new developments that came out of autonomy that we're now pushing back into conventional farming practices as well. I'll touch on some of that today. If I'm just reading a note here from Andrew, so if there's any questions for me, you can post them in here and I'll definitely try to answer them. So thanks, Andrew. So one of the things that I want to just really focus on is driverless technology, which is taking existing farm machinery and taking the driver out of the cab. We know that that is very unusual, considering every tractor has been built with the expectation that there's a driver in it. But we have been running both John Deere 8Rs and Magnum tractors for this season, and it's been remarkable. When a tractor pulls up beside you when you're in a combine and there's nobody in the cab, it is a bit eerie, but it is also showcasing the power of this technology today. We know that demand in the industry is real. In fact, just a fascinating thing happened a couple of days ago. We have an OmniPower customer in Nebraska that is spreading fertilizer, and completely unannounced, out of nowhere, we had 50 growers show up. There was no event planned, nothing. They simply heard about this in the community, and they all drove out to watch it. And they basically said, we can't find workers. We need automation. We're here to support you and encourage you to keep moving, keep developing this technology. We need it. It's not an if, it's a when. So as we've looked at how to roll this out and help all of our customers adopt precision technology, there's a variety of ways that we've done that. We've been partnering with implement providers. We have been building the tech stacks both for current needs and for the future. And we're seeing ways to peel out some of the autonomy technology and put it to work in the current fleets of equipment on farms. So there's, for us, we made a decision that we wanted to get in with our customers before everything was finalized. So we have commercial ready technologies today, but we're putting them with customers and we're supporting them. We think that's the fastest way to get the product developed. It might be a little bit messy at times, and you can have things not work perfectly, but we're learning far faster than if we just did it in our own backyard and didn't involve the customer. So I think that's one of the special things about Raven, is we have a very close relationship with our partners and our customers, and that partnership is how we've been able to move so quickly. This chart is a really neat illustration of exactly how autonomy is advancing in the industry. And we've got 5 levels of autonomy, 0 if you add as a 6th one, but most of what we've got today is in category 1 and 2, where we are using precision guidance and steering. We're using the ability to coordinate operations in a field. And even into level 3, where a lot of our machine functions are being automated today, and there's optimization of implements that can happen using sensor data, using perception data in the field. But when we get into level 4 and level 5, this is where it gets very exciting, because we're talking about machines running without operators, or the operator is just not physically in the machine. And we've talked about the 2 main products, OmniPower and OmniDrive, that we've been commercializing, but we've got branches of that are very exciting today. Where we're ultimately heading towards is full autonomy, which is where you can imagine equipment is running and you're remotely monitoring it and you're not actually in the field anymore. I think that is our ultimate mission. It's our ultimate goal to get to that technology, and we can see how we're going to get there. It's not that far away, but we are mostly focused on level 4 today, and we think the adoption of this technology will follow a path. It's going to happen in stages and increments. So, from our perspective, the vision for what a farm's going to look like is really an integration of a wide range of technology solutions to try to get the farm connected. So your equipment has all of its known interfaces today that you see in the cab experience. You've got your display, you've got your guidance and steering solution, perhaps some internet connection through a modem or a telematics device. And then if there are multiple machines in the field, they are talking to each other. And then, of course, you've got your satellite communications, and then your office or your management professionals that are connecting to you through a communications interface of some kind. And then, of course, Raven is building incredible computer power through cloud connections and other interfaces that will manage a lot of the decisions that will have to happen in the field. So as we look at it globally, there are so many different types of farms, sizes of farms, cropping types. They all require a different solution. And our common elements that we've seen are that farms are running in an optimized enterprise now. They're not ad hoc decisions. I mean, I grew up on a farm. I own a farm. I would probably be in the category of a less tech savvy farmer in a lot of cases because I use older machinery. But the general view is that I'd say industry is heading more and more and more comfortably into a technology enablement across all equipment, and that will lift everything into this new layer of connected decision making. We know that there are a lot of factors going into the daily operations of farm: labor management, safety, logistics, planning, managing the unforeseen, whether it's weather or breakdowns. All of those things are having to be still managed, but there are tools now and technology that is giving us the power to manage it differently. And I think when you look at large enterprise farms, corporate farms, they are running them like professional manufacturing businesses that have full planning dashboard tools. Those are the kinds of things that all of this suite has to encompass down the road. Of course, the other factor that's pressuring us today is the consumer and what the consumer wants in our products that we grow. Sustainability and you hear, and there are many topics in the conference over the next few days around carbon and essentially proving to the market that we can grow food sustainably. So the only way we're going to grow higher yields with less chemicals and less inputs is with technology, precision application of that input, better management of the crop through sensor data, and then responding to that with in-crop management, better planting of the crop to make sure that it has the maximum potential. All of that is only possible through technology. One of the things that I want to touch on briefly is really some of the coolest stuff we've been able to do. And this isn't the best picture, but we have a customer. It's an old college, so it's a university campus, but it has a full farm, and they own an OmniPower. And we were able to install a tech stack in a sprayer that allowed the operation of the OmniPower from the cab of the sprayer. Both machines are connected through our ecosystem, which is what we call Slingshot. It enables multi-machine coordination and shared mission planning. It allows for shared coverage maps so that you can see what each machine has done. And if you look at it, you could put two sprayers in the field, both of them having a human operator, and achieve some of the same optimization. However, what we've got here is one machine with one human operator and another machine with no operator. Now you've got two machines being run by the same person. So that we've proven that we can actually accomplish this. It is still needing some advancement in terms of getting it ready for commercial release, but this is a real live case of some of the applications of the technology that we've developed in OmniPower that you can install in conventional machines, and together they can be coordinated in the same field. We've also done this with an OmniPower and tractors pulling implements where you can match the field operations together. this is extremely exciting when you get to participate in this kind of testing. I'd call this moonshot. Like, we are at the frontiers of precision technology, and when growers get to experience it, they get very excited. So it's fun to be part of it. And I know when we did this demo at Olds College still, and the staff there were just delighted that it was something that we could do with them and showcase it. So in general, that's kind of the high level topics. I left about 20 minutes here at the end for us to have any questions. And if there aren't any questions, I can show a couple of videos. So I'll maybe pause there and we'll see if anything comes up.
Perfect. Thanks, Ben. Really appreciate it. There is a question from Colin here. I would be curious to know how Raven is approaching issues related to cybersecurity. Obviously, an issue that's going to be as more technology and more integration develops, it's going to be more of an issue than less of an issue. So, how is Raven looking into that?
Well, we take it pretty seriously. I think we acknowledge that is a serious issue. Connected machinery today have a lot of safety protocols in them, so that say someone can't hack into the machine and remotely control it. So there are a lot of safety overrides that have to be managed at field side today with any autonomous machinery. The bigger topic of cybersecurity, though, applies to just farm data, and Raven obviously is a conduit for many applications to run in cab. So whether it's our in-cab display or our cloud solutions or our field hubs that allow for connected data flows between machinery and the owner of that, they want to know that information is secure and that it's not going to be hacked into or ransomware or any of those sorts of things. So we do have a fairly large and like our IT infrastructure at Raven. I have had a chance to really get to know it, and it's very sophisticated. We also have a partnership with Amazon, which has given us a lot of capacity for cloud services that we offer. And then, of course, our networks are private and are based on our own hardware solutions. So we have the ability to protect our customers from many of those threats.
That's great, Ben. Thank you. I believe this is a question for you, but it's in the different part of the chat. So, but at any rate, it's fairly relevant to what you're talking about. Obviously, Raven's one of the leaders in technology and developing new technology in the farm, but they're curious about perspective on what are the significant barriers into adoption of technology. Is it ROI? Is it rural broadband? Are there other opportunities that are issues that are causing kind of a slow adoption of some of this technology?
If you'd asked me that a year ago, I'd give you a totally different answer. I think right now, I don't feel, to be honest, like if we could supply it, there wouldn't be slow adoption. It's turned on its head in the last year. I would say that the arguments as to why someone wouldn't buy this technology, I'd heard them over the last 3 or 4 years, and they were largely, well, I still like to be in the field, and I don't want to be out of the equipment, and there's too many connectivity issues. I don't have cell coverage in my area and things like that. I try to ask those questions to customers and say, so do you have good cell coverage? And like, no, not really, but we're prepared to buy our own private network. We're prepared to put up mobile towers if we have to. We've got a partnership with one of the cell phone companies, whether we're talking Australia or Canada or US or Europe, and they're going to support advancing the network if we need it. that sounds too uh, pie in the sky, I guess. It's much more complicated to just snap your fingers and get a cell phone network built. But I believe that uh, the urgency is different today, given the market conditions we're in and the escalated interest in food security and the supply chain issues that are harming our economy, and the desire to advance automation given labor constraints and mobility of people right now. So there's almost like a war effort feeling around this, where people are prepared to overcome all the usual barriers because they believe that we just have to get into this. And yet today, if you don't have good cell coverage, it's a problem. Yeah, today, if you don't have technology training, it's a problem. So if you don't know the first thing about how to navigate a computer interface, how to connect wiring harnesses, how to diagnose electronics, then you're going to struggle. Like, these are fundamental table stakes. Like, if we're going to provide autonomy and all these technology solutions, there has to be infrastructure to support all that. Now, Raven is building up a huge capacity to support it, both by training and dealer enablement. But the truth is, like, the grower is going to have to be okay with more technology. And when you look back, like, the first GPS steering systems were developed in the 70s. I mean, they were hundreds of thousands of dollars. They were very expensive, and the cost curve allowed for mass adoption by the 90s, and they were very intimidating to the first users. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm putting a computer in here, it's going to steer the tractor. This seems very, like, what if it breaks down? What am I going to do? Oh, we all learned about cell phones, and we learned how to operate them, and we've learned about smart TVs, and we've learned about Wi-Fi in our homes, and all that would have seemed overwhelming 25 years ago. The magnitude of the complexity of it, and what happens what do I do if it breaks? This technology will follow the same curve. It will get easier for the user. It will be more intuitive. But for the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to have to support it with an unusual amount of training and development for the industry to get there. I think that there's I could be wrong. It's maybe my personal opinion, but the debate over whether or not technology should be simple and easy and just pull it out of the box and plug it in and it works, versus having some advanced knowledge on how to operate it, is still happening. I mean, there are lots of industry experts that I respect who would say, until it's very simple for the grower, it's not going to be ready for them. And at the same time, I talk to a lot of growers, and they're saying, I can't wait that long. We need to start learning how to fix it and utilize it, and we're prepared to invest. And some of those leading growers are really tech savvy, and they want a simple and reliable interface, but they today are getting there with Excel spreadsheets and 3 or 4 other third-party applications, and they're trying to figure out how to integrate all this stuff together. And they see how they could really benefit from it, but what we're heading towards is making that a comprehensive solution.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you, Ben. Even when I think about how you definitely have to have a bit of a technology background, but they've made it's a lot easier than it was. I remember being at a dealership, and they're trying to connect a white planter to a case tractor, and the mess of the wiring harnesses trying to make everything connect. This was 2008, so it was a while ago. Like, these things are not as much of an issue now. They're certainly improved a lot, and everyone tries to be friendly with, regardless of what the hardware is. So I think that's you're right, that this is where this is going. And I think certainly in the last 2 years, we've had a big change in the landscape of how supply and from equipment to the people side of things as well. So it's certainly changed a lot. We've got another question. With the acquisition of CNH or by CNH, will Raven be as committed to OEMs for other companies?
It's a great question, and I have a great answer. It's been very publicly stated by CNH right from the beginning when the deal was announced that unequivocally CNH very significantly supports continuing all of our activities with all of our customers, even if they're competitors to CNH. I think there are good examples of how this has already happened in the industry with the AGCO acquisition of Precision Planting, and that gets referenced a lot. When AGCO acquired that company, the same kind of strategy unfolded. There's a lot of competitors to AGCO that were purchasing technology from Precision Planting, and that wasn't changed. There was no change in strategy. They were kept a little bit independent, and there was a support for that. We've heard the same thing loud and clear, that CNH wants us to work with and grow all of our relationships with all of our customers today. And I support it personally because I believe it's where a lot of our innovation and inspiration comes from. CNH builds tractors, they pull implements. Many of those implements are built by third-party companies that can develop some very innovative solutions. It only makes sense that we're continuing to collaborate and partner with them.
Perfect. I think we got probably about 2 minutes left, and I think that's it for questions, Ben. If you play that one of your videos, you could do that.
Sure. Let's see if I can jump into it here.
For many years, Raven has been automating the application process. Today, Raven is leading the path to autonomy in agriculture. And with all of its components that connect every step in crop production and management, Raven's technology portfolio is the foundation of an autonomous future. What does that mean? It means unprecedented visibility, control, and accuracy with how you produce and manage your crop, all in one easy-to-use system, enabling you to do more, get more, and give more from your operation.
It has certainly increased our capacity per day in order to get things done. So I think that's the biggest change, is that it's allowing us to be more efficient, but also to take on more. As you think about the cameras that you guys have to allow us to drive more accurately, also like the boom height control and things like that, I mean, I think those things are going to be necessary if we go towards an autonomous path.
Connected workflow is the framework for those tools that will allow you to step toward full autonomy.
I often get asked about connected workflow and the other things that we're doing here at Raven that maybe are on the path to autonomy or at full automation. We think about it in terms of the work that is trying to get done, the tools we're using, the equipment we're using. Really, for us, it's all about the basic things that get done in ag have not really changed over the course of many decades, actually. We all have work that needs to get done. We have tools we need for it. We can't control the weather. There's so many other things that we can't control that we want to try to control the variables that we can. And so when we think about connected workflow, it's all about making sure that we can connect the people, the tools they need to use, the material they need, the plan that we have, and to do it in the most efficient and effective way possible.
The moment work needs to be done in the field, connected workflow kicks in. The AgriSite mobile app enables your trusted agronomic advisors to navigate to fields, log geo-referenced site observations, record crop information, and create work orders. Dispatch Pro then seamlessly manages those work orders from multiple people and pieces of equipment across many locations. Viper 4 ensures jobs are entered into the field computer correctly, the operator is in the right view, and product is applied correctly. The Field Ops app allows you to retrieve jobs instantly in their assigned order, And once they are completed, the data syncs back to Dispatch Pro for verification and billing. JobSync allows you to easily share your coverage and guidance information between multiple machines in the same job, ensuring accuracy to avoid skips and overlaps. While on the job, VSN gives you the ability to navigate crop rows using a non-contact stereo vision camera and radar technology, allowing you time to focus on all other aspects of effective application control. With the Hawkeye 2 nozzle control system, you can achieve accurate droplet coverage, optimizing input costs.
With Hawkeye 2, I've noticed a lot of more consistent drop size, less chance of drip. We've got individual nozzle control now, so some of my rougher ground and south of part of my territory, you've got a lot of overlap, so we're saving chemical, plus you get the less chance of drop damage or double up.
Whether you are running at high or low speeds, the RS1 is a fully scalable GPS solution that combines auto steer, GPS, and slingshot into one easy-to-use unit that ensures accuracy every time. XRT's industry-leading sensor technology allows you to maintain optimal spray height for maximum product efficiency. All these tools work together to contribute to precise surgical field operations that help you gain efficiencies every time you enter the field.
I think a couple things that help us a lot is the VSN and the XRT. I like to get the phone calls from the farmer, hey, you haven't been here to spray my field, and if we've been there, you just can't tell we've been there.
It is already the tool that we need for the future and for today. As I think about our path to autonomy and what we're working on, we continue to push the envelope, even while people are in the cab, to say what needs further automation, what can help provide a more consistent, a more high quality, a more reliable job being done. And so much of that sits on the backbone of connected workflow.
With Raven's suite of tools and technology, you're leading the path to autonomy. Map your path at ravenprecision.com.
So that put us at time, Andrew?
Yeah. Perfect, Ben. Really appreciate your time today and sharing what's going on with Raven. Exciting to see the technology that's developing. I think everyone can see where you're going here, and it's really exciting for agriculture. And congratulations. Hope your move went smoothly, and I hope to see you around at another farm show sometime really soon.
Oh yeah, I'll be back. Okay, thanks, Andrew. Take care.
Thanks everybody for joining us today.